This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Okay, so I was on Instagram and I noticed this really awesome Cory Wong tune that you heard me trying to play in the introduction there. Now, this is interesting for a few reasons. So, we're starting off with this kind of D chord, and what's written next, I think, is a B flat chord, but the bass is actually playing G minor. And then it's written A minor, but the bass is playing F. And then there's another B flat. So there's some kind of difference between what's being shown on the screen and what's actually being played by the bass. But in any case, there's some things that I wanted to talk about. So what we've got going on, this first chord, basically all of this stuff is just really cool 3-note chords. So we've got a D triad here. So on the 7th fret, on the 7th fret, on the B string, so G, B, E. And the actual notes are D, F sharp, A. And then we move to this, so we then get the 5th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret. The notes there being C, F and A. Which is actually an F triad, but if you put that over a B flat, it becomes a B flat major 7, doesn't it? Or if you put that over a G, that becomes a G minor 9, I think, something like that. So those are the first two chords, and then we come down to actually a C triad. So we've got a C on the 5th fret, E on the 5th fret, and G on the 3rd fret, and that is a C triad, but if you play that over an F, that becomes an F major 7, doesn't it? Because we've got the major 7 in it. And we've also got the 5th and the 9, so maybe an F major 9. And then back up to the B flat. So we could actually play these with the bass notes in them. The F1. And then what actually happens, we play exactly the same thing, or Corey does, but the bass hits a B, and then the bass hits a C for the next chord, and then we go back to normal, F, back to our B flat. So, really interesting kind of chords, and you can see there that what's happening is for that D major, the second time round, he's substituting that for the relative minor with the B minor, and then just moving the bass line up instead of to the G. We get like a C sus or F in second inversion instead of the G minor. Now what's also happening is that we're moving between D major kind of sound and D minor sound, which is where the G minor, the B flat and the F major are coming from. Or you could think about it as moving between D major and F major, right? So we got the chords from D major are the D, and the B minor, and the chords from F major or D minor or all the other ones, right? So that first chord, D major, the next chord, G minor, comes from F major, the F major obviously comes from F major, the B flat major 7 comes from F major, the B minor comes from D major, the C sus comes from F major, the F major comes from F major, and then the next B flat comes from F major as well. Right, so if we were to play over that again soloing wise, because I've just told you that you can go between D major, you could play D major for the first chord and for the first chord of the repeat, that B minor, so you play D major or D major pentatonic. And then for the other 3 chords in the progression, you would play D minor bass stuff. When it comes to the picking part of it, the right hand is going to be doing sort of constant 16ths, like Nile Rodgers style. And so what you want to do is kind of make sure you've got everything able to be muted there, because we're essentially going to be pressing these down when we want the hit. So it's like, so rhythm wise what we get is 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, practice that sort of thing, play along with it. I think we've also got some longer kind of hits. So yeah, you're kind of wanting that long, like that. So don't hit in the middle of that longer one. And you can experiment with kind of a lighter touch, and you can experiment with kind of shorter stabs. Whoops. 4th position, important obviously. But a really simple part that I think you could get your teeth into and have a lot of fun with. And as I say, playing over it, if you start thinking about playing in kind of D major for your first chord, then for the next 3, kind of think about playing in F major. Anyway, the tab for this and the backing track I'll stick up on Patreon for you guys who want it, but I think that'd be a really kind of interesting one to learn, kind of Nile Rodgers-y, kind of Prince-y, but also really fun to solo over. So have fun with it. I'll catch you in another video soon. Feel free to like and subscribe. Cheers.